In our first video, we explored the first noble truth, Dukkha, the universal friction and fundamental unsatisfactoriness of life. We realized that no matter what we achieve, a subtle emptiness always returns. But why? What is the hidden engine driving this non-stop cycle of dissatisfaction? Who is the silent architect building the walls of our psychological prison? Over 2,600 years ago, sitting in deep meditation under the Bodhi tree, the Buddha isolated the exact root cause of all human suffering. He called it the second noble truth, Samudaya Satya, the noble truth of the origin. Long before modern psychology, the Buddha pointed his finger directly at a single, deceptive force inside the human mind, Tanha, or craving. Today, we decode how this silent force manipulates you every single second. In the ancient Pali language, the word Tanha does not just mean a casual wish. It literally translates to thirst. Think about what happens when you are stranded in a desert, desperately dehydrated. Your mind can think of only one thing: water. You become obsessed. You are no longer free. Your thirst completely controls you. The Buddha warned that the human mind is in a constant state of spiritual dehydration. We are chronically thirsty. What is fascinating is that modern neuroscience has recently caught up with the Buddha. Today, scientists call this thirst dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical neurotransmitter in your brain. For decades, people thought dopamine was the chemical of pleasure. But science now knows that dopamine is actually the chemical of anticipation and wanting. It is the molecule of more. It fires not when you have something, but when you are chasing it. The moment you get what you wanted, the dopamine drops, the satisfaction vanishes, and the brain immediately asks, "What is next?" This is the biological trap of Tanha. The Buddha, with his supreme psychological insight, broke this thirst down into 3 specific streams that control all human behavior. The first is Kama Tanha, or the thirst for sensual hits. This is the craving for physical, sensory pleasures. Good food, comfort, entertainment, and digital simulation. Think of scrolling on TikTok or Instagram Reels. You swipe up, looking for a funny video. You watch it, you laugh, and instantly you swipe up again. You are looking for the next hit. You can spend 3 hours doing this, never feeling truly fulfilled. You are drinking salt water to quench your thirst. The second is Avidya Tanha, or the thirst for becoming. This is the craving to become something, to build an identity, to gain power, status, or praise. It is the ego's drive to say, "Look at me, I am successful." It is the obsession with job titles, follower counts, and legacy. We suffer because we are terrified of being nobody. We constantly chase a future version of ourselves, believing that once I become that person, I will be safe. The third is Avidya Tanha, or the thirst for escape. This is the exact opposite of the second stream, but it is just as deadly. It is the craving to escape, erase, or destroy reality when it becomes unpleasant. When you experience emotional pain, stress, or anxiety, Avidya Tanha drives you to numb yourself. It manifests as modern addictions, turning to alcohol, drugs, binge eating, or escaping into video games for hours just to avoid facing your life. It is the desperate desire for reality to not be what it currently is. But the Buddha's diagnosis goes infinitely deeper than modern psychology. He states that Tanha is not just ruining your weekend, it is the actual gravitational force that pulls your consciousness back into the physical universe after you die. Just as heat and gravity pull particles together to form stars, the intense energy of your unfulfilled cravings, attachments, and worldly desires acts as a cosmic magnetic force. When the physical body dies, this momentum of Tanha cannot just disappear. It finds a new biological vessel, pulling your consciousness into a new womb, restarting the entire cycle of birth, decay, and dukkha. As long as the fuel of craving exists, the engine of samsara, the matrix of rebirth, will keep running. Most people think that to stop suffering, they need to change their external world, get a better house, more money, or better friends. But the second noble truth reveals that the world is not your problem. Your reaction to the world is the problem. The problem is not the beautiful car, it is the addictive attachment to it. The problem is not the painful moment, it is the desperate resistance to it. By exposing Samudaya, the Buddha hands us an immense power. If the cause of your suffering is inside your own mind, then the cure is also inside your own mind. You do not need to conquer the world, you only need to master your own cravings. Join us in Part 3, where we explore the ultimate good news of Buddhism and Avidya. The complete shutdown of the machine, and the realization of absolute peace.